Okay, here we're going to do another confidence interval, but this time we're going to do the long way of figuring out what z star is. Okay, we can always just use our table, but I want us to practice not having the luxury of page 399. Okay, so we're going to start. If you could take a second to read over the question. I already have the important information in list form for you. This one has a couple parts. So the first part, we just want to construct a 90% confidence interval from you. Okay, so the first thing that we want, well, we want that C is 0.90. That's our confidence interval. Next, we need to find Z star for a 90% confidence interval. So let's do this the long way. We're going to draw the chart, or the picture. It's supposed to look nicer, but what can we do? Put our 0 in the middle. These are Z's. And we want the middle 90% shaded. Okay. Over here we're going to have a z-score, and over here we're going to have a z-score. The difference between them is the one on the left is going to be negative and the one on the right is going to be positive. It's going to be the same thing, same numbers, just different signs. Okay. So we just need to figure out one of them and we'll know both. So I'm going to figure out what this is, the negative z star, and in order to do that I have to use some problem solving. Okay. So we have the middle 90%. If 90% is shaded, that means that there's 10% in the tails. So since there's 10% left over in the tails and we have the middle, that means that we have 10% divided by 2, 5% in each of the tails. So here I have 5%, and on the right side I have 5%. Okay, and you could just quickly check by doing 5 plus 90 plus 5 is 100%. Okay. So we're going to look up on our table starting on page 579. We're going to go backwards. We have the area. We're going to find the z-score associated with it. Okay, so 5% is the same thing as 0.05. So let's see which z-score comes close. Okay, remember we have area is the table lookup of a z. And here we're trying to find what's closest to 0.05. Okay, so let's see. 0.05 on page 580. Let's see, we have a choice between 0.0505 and 0.0495. We take the one closest to it without going over, so that would be 0.0495. And that z-score is what? Let's see. That would be negative 1.65. So we have here negative 1.65, which means the other z is going to be 1.65, and we use that in our problem. We always take the positive of it. Okay, so we have that information. So 1.65 is our z star. So that's the long way. It's actually not that long, but it helps if we have the chart to skip this step. Okay, so next what we need to do, we're going to find the error. So the error, remember, is z star times s divided by the square root of n. We have all this information. We're just going to plug it into the formula. Okay, so we have our z star we just found was 1.65. Our s is 6. And we're doing the square root of 400. Okay. So let's see what we have. The square root of 400. finally one I could do in my head. So that would be 20. Then we have 1.65 times 6. So let's see what we get. 0, carry the 3. 9, carry a 3. So we have 9.90 divided by 20. So let's see what we get when we use our calculator. I got 0.495. Okay. And for error, what we like to do, as you see from previous problem, we try to get 2 decimal places. That's just what we're going to do, so we all will have the same answer. So that means we would have 0.50 or 0.5 as our error. Next, we're going to find the confidence interval. Okay. So in order to do that, we have x bar minus e less than mu less than x bar plus e. And again, by this stage, we have all the information we need. We're just going to plug it in. Our x bar for this problem, let's go and see what it was. 57.7. The e we just found was 0.5. On the right-hand side, we would have 57.7 plus 0.5. Okay, so on the left, we would have 57.2 less than mu. On the right-hand side, let's see, we would have 58.2. And if we wrote it using parentheses, our final answer would be 57.2 is the left-hand side, 58.2 is the right-hand side. That would be our confidence interval for 90%. Okay. All right, let's do part B of this problem. I'll tell you what it is, which is what I want us to do anyway. It is to explain our answer in part A. So in words. So the problem is dealing with what? Okay, the problem is dealing with the average amount of time these Japanese students are studying per week. So what we can do, just like the other problems, we start out by writing that we can say with, and this time we could say with 90% confidence, okay, that, let's see, that the true, I like using the word true, that the true population mean is between or is in the interval, I'll write both those words, okay, that it's in the interval between 57.2, we're talking about hours, and 58.2 hours. Okay. So that's just in words what our answer means. We can say with 90% confidence that the true population mean, so that our mu, is in the interval between 57.2 and 58.2. And it just really helps to put in our units. So here we're talking about hours. Okay? And if you want, for even more practice, I would do the same sort of question, but this time for a 95% confidence interval. So for that one, I'd say try it on your own, and I will write the answer here for you. And I'll write it in steps. So our confidence is 0.95. Our n we were given from above. Our x bar we were given. S we were given. So I'm going to do this really fast. I want you to do it on your own and just make sure that you get the right answer. Okay? Okay, so whatever you got here, okay, so for this one, if you round to one decimal place, just because we rounded to one decimal place, and the last one it just worked out that way. So if I want you to round to a specific thing, I'll make it clear. Otherwise, always just round to 2 decimal places. So hopefully you got the same thing. And I might post some more videos later.